I don't mean to keep beating the same drum over and over and over again. Did you like my use of the word beating there? Was that funny? Was that topical? But Stellar Blade's PC port was a monumental success. It was by far the biggest PlayStation published PC port to date, and we knew that to be true right out of the gate just from the concurrent player counts. It takes a lot for a single player game to hit concurrent player counts in the upper 100,000s in the middle of the week, especially for a delayed port like this. And I made a video the other day about how a bunch of PlayStation fans were really mad about how many PC players were playing the PC version and how they were trying to downplay the PC version, like, oh, the sales aren't as good as you think they're going to be, or the sales are good, but they're not going to be as good as the PlayStation sales are going to be. But, you know, just a few hours ago, at the time that I'm recording this, we got a report from Insider Gaming stating that Stellar Blade on PC hit 100 sales. 100 sales. That's not that many, Joe. You read it wrong. Kill yourself. Stellar Blade on PC hit 1 million sales, a nice, cool, easy 19 times faster than the PS5 version did.
9 times?
9 times.
Total sales are unknown because, you know, it's just a little early for these things, but we hit the 1 million mark over here almost 20 times quicker than the PS5 version did. And this is comical for several reasons. First of all, it's comical because you have a whole bunch of PlayStation dudes who are constantly saying PC gamers don't buy games, PC gamers don't make any money for Sony, Sony should stop putting money into PC game ports, and then numbers like this come out and they have to somehow backtrack and turn around and be like, well, we're still right somehow. One of the main arguments against PC ports for PlayStation games is always, well, the PlayStation version sells more anyways, as if the PlayStation version selling more somehow means the many copies on the PC don't actually count. It's like the PlayStation sold more copies total, PC still sold a lot of copies. Don't sell those a lot of copies. It was less copies in the PlayStation version, therefore it's terrible and Sony doesn't need them. It's like, okay, yeah, cool, that's how numbers work. Sold 1 million over here and 900,000 over there, that 900,000 is terrible, don't do it, is basically the logic you're using here. But in the case of Stellar Blade, you can't even use that logic, because Stellar Blade passed 1 million sales faster than the PS5 version did. It's well on its way to outselling the PS5 version overall, and if you go into the responses of this Insider Gaming thread, what you find are a whole bunch of PlayStation fanboys trying to do that very thing that I just described. They're trying to twist this in a way that means they still get to maintain their position of PC gamers not actually buying games and not actually being financially beneficial for Sony to be dipping their toes into. We all knew this was going to happen, I just didn't think it would look this stupid when it did happen. So we're going to read some of my favorite responses here, because I'm sorry, first of all, if you care this much about a not even a first-party PlayStation game, a third-party PlayStation game going to PC and making lots of money, first of all, if you're upset about this at all, first or third party, just fucking go home, play more games. This so does not matter. But second of all, even if you do want this to matter, this benefits you if you're a PlayStation fan. Because yeah, PC players are buying the shit out of this PlayStation game. You know who gets the money for that? Sony. You know what Sony can do with that money? Make more games, which is the thing you allegedly want them to do. But because people are playing the game on a platform that doesn't have a Sony logo on it, it's a problem to you. And the mental gymnastics that these people are doing to justify this somehow being a bad thing is they're just amazing, and so are you. They're just amazing, whoop-dee-whoop-doo. SSD responds to the article and says, because of perverts. Ace Penguin responds to them and says, yup, they only wanted the game on PC so they could mod all her clothes off. Any game with a woman in it, first priority, nude mods. PCMR nerds need to go outside and touch grass, TBH. I do love this idea that the only people who played Stellar Blade are perverts. It's like, you didn't have that opinion of this game before it came to PC. Like, when this game was only on PS5, you were perfectly allowed to buy and play it without being called a pervert. But then the game comes to PC, where mods are possible, and your first reaction is, well, everyone who buys that game's a pervert. Like, buddy, is this game for pervs or not? Just because mods exist. But also, if you really want to hold the position that PC gamers are only buying the games because they can mod the clothes off, let's just do something fun here. I'm just gonna Google Nexus mods Stellar Blade. Now, I know Nexus mods are not the only place where you can go to get mods for games, but it's definitely the most popular one, so let's go here. You go to the Stellar Blade page on Nexus mods, trending mods. There's engine tweaks, improved perfect defense, facial beautification, Eve to Tachi turn on off cheats, Tachi face. So well, those are the trending mods. So let's look at the all-time mods here. Now, the top 3 mods I would call adult content, yes. Although I would like to point out that the number 4 most popular mod is an engine tweak. So while yes, the Goon Squad is modding this game, the non-Gooners are modding this game just as much, arguably. I would also like to point out that the most popular adult content mod of the game has been downloaded 137,000 times. And if you refer to the article here, the game has been bought over 1 million times. Do you see where I'm going with this? Endorsing or condoning gooniness is irrelevant to the fact that the vast majority of people buying the game are not using the Goonie mods, just like the case was on the PlayStation. Well, the PlayStation didn't even have option for Goonie mods, but the point I'm making here is that the game itself is selling on its own merits, just like it did on PlayStation. The PC has the ability to mod it, but the vast majority of PC players buying the game are not modding it. They're just, you know, buying and playing it, just like you did. But suddenly, because mods are possible, and because some percentage of the community is using mods, now, all of a sudden, the game is only successful because of perverts. Let's keep going. Oliver Darko says, so you're telling me Stellar Blade sold more copies after it went from unknown debut game to cult classic? First of all, it's been out for a year. You can't be a cult classic after one singular year. Also, it wasn't a cult game to begin with. It was a sales success, and it was one of the most highly publicized releases of the year. That's literally not what cult means. But also, Demolisher responds, and with all the points I was gonna make, says, so when it doesn't sell more on PC when released later, it's because they don't buy games, but when they do buy the game more, it's because it's a cult classic. That's true. The goalpost moving is nuts. Whenever a Sony game does well on PC, the Sony dude's like, you're welcome for publicizing, you're welcome for making the game popular before you could get it. Then when the game doesn't sell well, it's like, well, that's not surprising. PC gamers never buy games. It's just also tiresome. Cameron says, this would never happen if mods weren't supported. I mean, just look at what the most downloaded mods are for the game. It's just a goon fest of incels. Again, I just showed the mod page. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of adult content mods. There's also a lot of not adult content mods. I'd also like to point out that of the top 5 most popular Resident Evil 4 mods, 2 of them are nude mods. No one has ever made this argument about Resident Evil 4, that it's only successful on PC because of the Goon Squad, but you're going to make that argument here anyways, because it's the only argument you have. And I'd also like to point out the bigger thing here. Even if PC gamers were all gooners, even if the people who bought this game were 100% Goon Squad, like you get a class photo of all of the PC gamers in the world, and it's just the goons from Lego Batman over and over and over again. It's just a big picture of Batman goons. Even if that were true, how would that mean we don't buy the games? How does that mean we don't support the games? You know? It's like, PC gamers don't support games. Then a game comes out that the gooners all buy. It's like, well, they're gooners. It's like, okay, they still bought the game though. And they're buying it more than you. So, what's your point? Hylian Hero says, that's crazy because PlayStation fans often say we PC gamers don't buy games. Darius says, the real reason is that there are more virgins and thirsty dudes on PC who never get women in reality. This is the most playground shit ever. It's like, hey, why didn't PlayStation gamers buy the game more than PC gamers? Well, because PlayStation gamers have sex. We can't buy the games we boast about. We're too busy having sex with women. That's like the most degenerate argument you could possibly make. It's like, hey, why can't you run faster than the other guys in your class? Well, I gotta save my leg muscles for all the sex I'm having. Hey, PS5 dudes were hyping up their sales numbers of this game, and then PC games came and swooped right past them. What happened there? I don't know, bro. Must have been all the sex we're having. Lesm also responds to Hylian Hero. Says, Stellar Blade built a reputation on PS5, plus it's mostly China, plus PC gamers are full of gooners. I do love that we're trying to argue that Stellar Blade's PC port sold well because of just Chinese players, but also Western PC gamers are gooners. Like, you catch what's going on here? Western PC gamers aren't the ones supporting the game, it's Chinese PC gamers, but also we're going to insult Western PC gamers and call them gooners. Like, are Western PC gamers buying Stellar Blade or not? Also, why the fuck does it matter where the sales are coming from? People say, oh look, PC gamers bought the game, and you respond, well actually it's Chinese PC gamers. It's like, fucking so? Are we suggesting that Chinese gamers are somehow less important or less valid than non-Chinese gamers? Cause that sounds rather casually racist to me. And in case you think I'm putting words in this dude's mouth, it's not actually an uncommon mindset. Let's move on to the next one. Devonte says, here come the PC people taking credit for what Asian people are doing. Let me repeat that. Here come the PC people taking credit for what Asian people are doing. Today I learned Asian people can't be PC gamers, apparently. It says, if it was up to Western PC gamers, this game would have flopped because of the innate hate they have for Sony. So we go from PC gamers don't buy games, and then they do buy the game. And then we have two camps here, where in camp A is that it's only Chinese gamers. This game's only successful on PC because of the Chinese, which, like, okay, what's the problem with that then? But then camp B is, well, Western PC gamers are all just gooners. If it was up to Western PC gamers, the game would flop. No Western PC gamers bought the game. Okay, then why are all the gooner insults being thrown at Western PC gamers then? You can't have it both ways. And even if you're trying to have it both ways, we still kind of have to acknowledge the fact that you people seem to not think Chinese PC gamers matter. Which is really funny to me, because weren't the PlayStation dudes the same people hyping up the PlayStation's presence in China, like, earlier this year? Weren't you the same people talking about how China is, like, so great for the PlayStation market, and Sony has such a great presence in the Chinese games market? And then a game comes out, a lot of Chinese people buy it, and you're like, yeah, well, do Chinese people really matter? Like, are you fucking kidding me? What is happening right now? What is going on? What is this one? Gabe Newell should fund the next game then, just like PlayStation did with the first one. Oh, look at that. Another PlayStation guy doesn't understand that Steam does not own the fucking PC. The PC is not owned by one company. And also, ironically, if Gabe Newell did fund Stellar Blade 2, he would probably keep it multi-platform because Gabe Newell has openly talked about the fact that the best way to sell lots of copies of your games is to make that game as accessible as possible to everyone you possibly can. So, great argument here, question mark? You've literally proved nothing. Why did you even enter the conversation? One last one here. I like this. Biggest Dickus responds to the article. Says, this is one where PlayStation exclusivity was a stupid idea. It was obvious from the start. Should have been on PC day one like originally announced before it had the name Stellar Blade. Miguel says, it was helped by PlayStation technically and the game's scope changed thanks to Sony. The game got much better than when it was Project Eve. Plus Sony helped a lot with the marketing. And then Biggest Dickus responds, none of what you just said changes what I said. Which is true. It's true. People are like, hey, exclusivity for this one was dumb. You should have been day one on PC with this one. And then someone's like, well, listen, Sony put some money into the development of the game. It's like, okay. And they could have made that money back a lot faster if it was on PC. Who are you even, like, who are you even talking about right now? Like, what is, can you read? The game existed either way. Sony comes in, gives some money to the developers, and then makes it exclusive for some reason. We're just pointing out that if you didn't make it exclusive, you would have made a lot more money a lot quicker because you would have made a lot more money on every platform. Like, Home Skillet, Homie Skillet, Home Skillet. This right here, this is literally not an argument. This literally doesn't matter. What are you doing? I do love the PlayStation diehards' absolute inability to just fucking drop things. Because, like, the game's coming to PC, and you're like, the game's gonna flop on PC. Game clearly doesn't flop on PC. Well, the PlayStation version's gonna do better. The PlayStation version doesn't do better. It's like, yeah, well, still fuck you. It's like, you could just move on. You could just move on. Instead, I'm making another video about you. Because you people keep acting stupid. You keep acting stupid and silly. Lots of silly, stupid people out there, yeah? I'm so sorry. Every time I get real goofy, every time I get real into it, I just start putting on random accents. And when I start putting on random accents, I start doing a really bad Cockney accent, like fucking Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. Oh, what would I do if I was a street sweeper? A chimney sweep. Fuck. I really wish this would just, like, part of me really wishes this shit could just fuck off. But then also part of me is like, nah, keep this shit here. Keep this shit fucking on, because I get to keep making videos about it. It's real funny. Okay, it's Doofus Club time. Nate, Blast1314, Jimmy Chows, Close the Door, I'm Touching Myself, Michael Musio, Master Killer, Firestorm 2056, Demetrius Papagiorno, Showbiz, NCNA, Banshee, Tom Snorlax, and Ed Omega Mole Theme, Dan Porter Bridges, One Man Savage, Binary Deviant, Oracle, Unknown 1867, 18, Kev Dog 1992, Steel, Zombie Killer 5072, Official Dregs, Mash Star, the stupid name I'm made of, wait, the stupidest name imaginable just for Joe the Furry, my love, fight. Bear Brain, Epion 504, Grimsy, Edge Knight 1789, The Caffeine Addict, Corporal Dixon, Kushguard, Unicorn, Rocco, Opossum, Bender Fondue, Femboy, Fuda House is my game of the year, Nintendo can eat my ass, someone check on Harmon Smith, Thomas Buchan, Dial Up, Kyle Ward, 789 cents, and Akage, Non-Vola, Take Old Biddies, Partial Mean 8, Nick, Volksalto, and JJ Dusty, Hail to Nouveau Pubcod, Stop It, Codman 4372WX, I need a stupid name for Joe to read out loud for everyone to see, Solar Hot, Gold Pyrex, Zombie Fan, Alderato 1, since you refuse cat in mail, I will shit under fridge, go check, Doug Nixie Smile, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Joe, please let us touch tip, you sexy man. I'm still in the moat, Joe. Please get help. Henthai, Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105. I keep wanting to do the wrong numbers. Clipto Penguin, GWXSS, Rats the Wolf, Evanco, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zerg, Gaming Devable, All Games Video, this Japanese name that says Stellar Blade sold lots of copies, and also I'm a big walrus. Maxwell of V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, Todd Howard's our Lord and Savior, Chris Void, Spoke on the Rat King, Jessica Spiral, Jessica Shepard, Riki Spiral, I do that all the time. Riki Tiki Tabby, Muskie, I'm not hyped for GTA 6, it doesn't look that interesting to me. Groom the Steel Angel, PlayStation needs day and date on PC, get over it. Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron Von Vaderham, Cyrus 6771, don't call me Doofus, it hurts my feelings, 2 texting at 940, I'm Joe's phone, text notification, ding.mp4, the first Doofus, Creed Warrior 23, Max Chev, Chap is going away for a while, take care for now, Totally Insane, Even Dead Autry, Black Cobra, The Enwa Slayer, Knight of Cypher, ML04, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, oh no, it's a bald Banana Man, Wolf of Midnight, Sig Rider, Pig Venus, Steve Wynn Studios, Film Kraken, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Thornscape, Magnex, Severn Evans, Sonic 03, it's a Cavalier Figure Wine, Mix of Pow, White Trouble, Donnie Weston, McDonaghan, Draws Max on Twitch, Come Hang Y'all, Gob Goblin, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hitter, Kenny Kitten, Fanny, Hangman for Hire, Elden Noble, Frost Crystal, Jaya, Biogenesis, In Action, Floppy Fingers 97, Mega Keys, Cuppy Skull, Ghost Ho, Ryusaki, Jojo 6, Fast Grow, Raptor Tim, The Amazing Blight Man, Blue Hook, Jeff from Portland, Atomy on Steam. That's not super helpful for me to do that. Jody Breeze, Smitty, Burger, Jägerman Jensen, Max Slur, the Cholo Zord. Make advertisement, Diego Garcia, JJ Dusty, A. My Kibikins, I American Idiot, Darth Muffin, Ono, it's Justin, Randwood, Tuning Way, Mechanical Resonance, Extreme Wolf 7, Joey Scoos, Negative Creep, Joe Taku, Poop, P, Bang, Cat, Chicken Sucker, Mom, Banger 8008, Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, Westerbill at 310 Char, Rob C, Veg, The Groovy Banana, Curtin Allen's Pack, The Scrum Master, Squirrel with a Gun, Makes My pee nuts go pew pew. See, if you want to talk about Gooner games, Squirrel with a Gun is what we're getting at here. Don't think about Stellar Blade. Squirrel with a Gun, that's a fucking Gooner game and a half. Okay, toodles.